All right, you guys, so I figured out a way to show you the book and be able to read to you at the same time. Today, during our during our Zoom meeting, we started The Magic Tree House Tonight on the Titanic, written by Mary Pope Osborne, and we read chapter 1 of this chapter book. So every day on our Zoom meetings, we will be reading a chapter out of this book. And after our Zoom meeting, I will be putting a trivia question on Dojo about the chapter that we read. And if you have the answer, you have an opportunity to get another 5 points on Dojo simply by giving me your answer by messaging it to me on Dojo. Okay. Padres, vamos a estar leyendo este libro de capítulos durante nuestras juntas en Zoom. Después de leer el capítulo, les voy a poner una pregunta sobre el capítulo en Dojo para una oportunidad de recibir otros 5 puntos de Dojo. Si saben la respuesta de la pregunta que pongo sobre el capítulo que leímos ese día, simplemente tienen que mandarme un mensaje en Dojo con la respuesta y pueden recibir esos puntos. So today I read the chapter 1 on our Zoom meeting, but just in case you were not able to hear it, I'm going to go ahead and record this and I'll put it on our Dojo, and I'll try and do this every day on each chapter. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Magic Treehouse Tonight on the Titanic. And I'm going ahead and go to chapter 1. So we have a prologue, but I'm not going to read the prologue. We're just going to go to a new mission. You know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and read the prologue. The trivia question will not be on the prologue, but this will just be a bonus. Prologue. One day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods. 8-year-old Jack and his 7-year-old sister Annie climbed into the treehouse. They found that it was filled with books. Jack and Annie soon discovered that the treehouse was magic. It could take them to the places in the books. All they had to do was point to a picture and wish to go there. Along the way, they discovered that the treehouse belongs to Morgan Le Fay. Morgan is a magical librarian from the time of King Arthur. She travels through time and space gathering books. In Magic Treehouse books number 5 to 8, Jack and Annie helped free Morgan from a spell. In books number 9 to 12, they solved 4 ancient riddles and became master librarians. In Magic Treehouse books 13 to 16, Jackie and Annie had to save 4 ancient stories from being lost forever. Now, in book 17, they are about to begin a new set of adventures. So this prologue just kind of sets up the story and reminds you of who Jack and Annie are. They are a brother and sister who found a magic tree house full of books. And in order to travel back in time and space to the place of the book, they just simply have to put their finger on the book and wish to go there. All right, so now we're going to start with chapter 1, and this is the chapter we read on Zoom, and I'm just reading it again for those who were not able to hear it or those who were not able to get on Zoom. Chapter 1, A New Mission. Jack opened his eyes. It was a stormy night. The rain tapped hard on his window pane. "Do you hear what the rain is saying?" said a voice. Jack turned on his lamp. Annie stood in his doorway. She wore her rain poncho over her pajamas and held a flashlight. "It's saying, 'Come now,'" she said. "You're nuts," said Jack. "Listen, just listen," said Annie. Jack listened. The rain did seem to be tapping out. "Come now, come now." "We have to go to the treehouse," said Annie. "Something important is about to happen." Now, said Jack. Jack didn't want to leave his warm, cozy room, but he had a feeling Annie was right. Something important was about to happen. You coming? She said. Yeah, he said. He climbed out of bed. Just put on your rain poncho, said Annie. Jack threw his rain poncho over his pajamas. He pulled on his sneakers and grabbed his backpack. Don't forget your master librarian card, said Annie. I have mine with me. Jack put the card with the glowing letters ML on it into his backpack. I'm ready, he said. Jack and Annie went quietly down the stairs. Then they slipped out the door into the chilly, damp night. The storm had eased up. Rain fell gently as they ran up the street. The wet ground glistened in the beam of the flashlight. They headed into the Frog Creek woods. Wind blew through the trees, shaking water to the ground. Jack shivered. He wiped raindrops off his glasses. And here are Annie and Jack with their ponchos going into Frog Creek woods. Brr, said Annie, I'm cold. Me too, said Jack. As they kept walking, Annie pointed the flashlight up into the trees. There it is, she said. Her light had found the treehouse. Morgan! Jack called. There was no answer. I wonder what's wrong, said Annie. I was sure she'd be here. Let's go up and see, said Jack. Annie grabbed the rope ladder and started climbing. Jack followed. Rain dripped from the trees onto his poncho. They climbed into the treehouse. Annie shined her light into each corner. The first 3 corners were empty. Then the flashlight beam hit the 4th. Jack and Annie gasped with surprise. Sitting in the corner was a small dog. He looked like a terrier puppy. He had scruffy light brown fur. He stared sadly at Jack and Annie. Oh, whispered Annie. Where did you come from? Said Jack. Annie patted the dog's head. He wagged his tail. He's so cute, she said. He looks like a little teddy bear. Hi, Teddy. Teddy was actually a good name for him, Jack thought. Where did you come from, Teddy? He asked. The little dog whimpered. Mm-mm. Don't be sad, said Annie. Everything's okay. How did he get up here? Jack asked. I don't know, but I bet Morgan had something to do with it, said Annie. Jack's gaze fell on a piece of paper lying on the floor. I think you're right, he said. He picked up the paper. On it was fancy writing that said, This little dog is under a spell and needs your help. To free him, you must be given 4 special things. A gift from a ship lost at sea. A gift from the prairie blue. A gift from a forest far away. A gift from a kangaroo. Be wise, be brave, be careful, Morgan. P.S. Your master librarian cards won't help you on this mission. Just be yourselves and all will be well. What kind of spell do you think Teddy is under? Said Annie. Who knows? Said Jack. Poor thing, said Annie. She patted the dog's head. He licked her hand. It looks like we have to take 4 trips, said Jack. Teddy trotted over to a book. He pushed it with his nose. Look, said Annie, I bet that will take us on the first trip. She picked up the book that little dog had chosen. Good job, Teddy, she said. The title of the book was The Unsinkable Ship. Well, at least that's good, said Jack. The ship won't sink, even if it is lost. Ready, Teddy? Asked Annie. Arf, arf, he answered. Jack pointed at the cover of the book. I wish we could go there, he said. The wind started to blow. The tree house started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. All right, you guys, that was chapter 1. And I will be posting the trivia question on Dojo. So if you paid attention, message me the answer to the question for 5 points.